Thank you so much, Abhishek. It's been a fantastic live wire session. Thank you, Shivani, for sharing what you shared. It gave a lot of hope, gave a lot of light into somebody's life, for sure. I'm so thankful that I got an opportunity to share something that might be useful to most of you on a 9:40 p.m. on Saturday night. So let me share my screen and let's get started. So before I start, right, you might have seen my intro video. Before I start, when you hear of this term fat, can you type on chat what comes to your mind? I give two options to you. One is weight gain. Number two is something to eliminate. Two options. Weight gain. So type weight. Two, something to eliminate. So type E. So W or E. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds before we move on. Because the reason why I framed this slide this way is because we want to rewire our brain today in the shortest possible time that we have. We want to rewire our brain, rethink the information in a different way, re-see it at a different light. So that is our goal today. So let's get started. So let's understand what happens in the history as to why this low fat trend when it started happening, right? Basically the early studies, right? So there is a study called a seven country study by Ansel Keys. So what this study did was is it found a link between a saturated fat and a heart disease. But the problem was they ignored two things. Number one, they ignored several countries where the fat did not give a problem to the heart, because there are several countries where the consumption of the fat was very high. At the same time, the country did not have an incidence of heart disease, or it's very, very low. So those countries were excluded. Number two, they did not consider the impact of lifestyle into this study. Government and media simplified it into a fat is equal to heart disease, and the policy shifted, and US and many, many other countries modified their dietary guidelines, saying that you have to reduce fat because fat means more heart disease, more risk to the heart. So the food companies latched onto it. So they come with a massive marketing opportunity. They launched low-fat alternatives overnight, really. The food industry response was when the fat was removed, right? What happens to the food? Palatability reduces. So the food became less palatable. So the food marketing companies panicked and they lost flavor in their foods. So they had to do something else. So they had to refine sugar, refined items to the food to make it more palatable and addictive. And that spiked insulin levels. No matter. There is no irony. That the greatest irony here is that instead of reducing heart disease, it created obesity, it created diabetes, PCOS, and many other concerns. Right? So this is a short history, right? But I want to talk about now why the body loves fat. So so we are here. So now, why the body loves fat? The body loves fat because our brain is 50% made of fat, which means it is crucial for our memory, it is crucial for our focus, and not just that, it is crucial for our mood. Our ability to stay calm depends on this. Fat also regulates hormones. Leptin is a satiety hormone. If I eat something, I should have a feeling that I'm feeling full. That's when I will stop. How will that come? When the leptin hormones works better, and the fat regulates the leptin hormone. Estrogen, which is very important for our menstrual function and reproductive health, is regulated once again by fat. Number three, very important for most of us, working professionals and busy moms. It acts as a very slow and a steady energy reserve, vital for long days and household demands, because it doesn't burn energy immediately. It's not like glucose. It's not like so it's a very slow and steady energy reserve, very, very important for the body. Now, let me talk about. So we understood the history. We understood why the body loves fat, but what kind of fat are we talking about, right? So when most people think of fat as something just adds weight, but here is where very little talk is happening about it, because when the fat topic comes, we have to understand that every cell in our body is wrapped in fat. It is like a soft cushion that decides what gets in and what gets out, or what stays out. Now imagine this: when you coat the cushion with the wrong kind of fat, Everybody knows what is wrong kind of fat. Refined oils, reheated fry oils, trans fats, they make the cell wall more rigid. That is what is happening on the left-hand side, right? It is like turning the flexible sponge into a plastic. The cell cannot talk properly with the hormones, with the immune system, or anymore. Now, on the other hand, when we have healthy fats, what are those healthy fats? Everybody knows again. It's your ghee, the age-old ghee, avocados, omega-3. These fats keep the walls fluid, like a well-oiled machine, allowing your brain, allowing your hormones and metabolism communicate beautifully. So it is not about less fat, it's about the smarter fat that the body loves, the kind that keeps your body messaging system alive. Now, let's understand why this communication system is very important. Why is this important? Let's understand a bit further, right? Yeah. So the reason why the communication system is very important is because fat talks. We can't think fat as storage, something that is sitting under the skin, quietly adding weight. It is an active communicator. It talks to your brain. It talks to your hormones. We saw that in the previous slide. It talks to your immune system. When the fat cells are healthy, they send calm and balanced messages, which helps you feel satisfied, energetic, and hormonally stable. But when they are inflamed and overloaded, often from processed foods, poor sleep, chronic stress, the same fat cells start sending panic signals. That is what you see in the bottom. The brain receives it as hunger. The immune system reads it as inflammation. The hormone system thinks the body is in survival mode, right? So the fat doesn't just sit there, it speaks, it talks. The question is, what is your fat in your body saying about your lifestyle today, right? This is the reason why communication system between in the body is very, very important to be understood in the context of fat. Now, let's understand a bit more about, hey, I have excess fat already. So what do I do? I want to simplify this fat burning science, right? It's a science. We have to simplify it. So let us simplify it now. I want you to think about three terms here. Number one, think about fuel timing. Number two, think about fuel quality. And number three will come up later, right? We'll talk about the first two for now. Fuel quality and timing. We often think of fat burning as coming, counting calories or eating less, but your body is way smarter than that. Every bite of the protein-rich food actually costs energy to digest. When you think of this term of zero calories diet, right? Why it is 0 calories? Does it mean that the food does not have any calories to give you? It does. But it takes equal amount of energy by the body to digest the food. That's why it becomes 0 calories. That is called as thermic effect of the food. Your body burns calories just to process better, right? And now the guideline is that when we talk about the dietary guideline of fat, 20% of your calories should come from fat for this to happen, for all of this to happen. So your coach or the person who invited you is the best guide for this because he might have shown you a way in which you can beautifully integrate this 20% thing into your lifestyle seamlessly. Number one. Number two, when you practice intermittent fasting, what is your body doing? You are teaching your body to switch fuel from glucose to stored fat. It is like this. It is like training your engine to run on premium fuel instead of quick sugar burst. So how do we burn fat? We switch on two things. We make sure our fuel quality is good, and we make sure our fuel timing is good, which is intermittent fasting, right? What is the third? What is the third? So now, number one, I hope you can see the slide. Something happened in my screen. Yeah. So third thing, here is something where most of us don't realize is we have to understand when we want to leverage the good fat, we want to leverage the proper functioning of fat in our body. What do we do? It's not just about taking the right kind of fat. It is not just about understanding the fat signals communication. All that is very important. But what do we do for it? For it to make it work for us, is that once it is broken down, the fat is broken down, the molecules does not stay there waiting. They cannot swim in the blood directly because they're all oil based. They cannot swim in the blood. Blood is like water, right? So your body uses a different highway. It's called the lymphatic system. Think of it like a silent drainage network that collects all the fat droplets and slowly pours them down your veins. That is how the fat can do the effort, that activity or the function that is supposed to perform. Now, here is the catch. If your lymph flow is very sluggish, fat circulation and detox slow down. That is when you feel heavy, puffy, and even mentally foggy. The solution for that is not another detox tea or a detox recipe. It is simple daily lymph movement. Walking, deep breathing, dry brushing, bouncing. We have a fantastic coach in our community. His name is Madhur. You might find his workout in our one of our offerings in our program. So lymph cleaning workout. I would really highly recommend that you go back to the coach and understand. Hey, I want to understand how this lymph cleaning works because that is very crucial for your body fat to work the way that you want to make it work. Now, second thing is strength training. Now, here is the secret. Your muscles will act as a metabolic bank. It's a metabolic bank. They keep burning even while you rest. Sometimes even for 24 hours, even after you work out. So when you want to do weight loss, when you want to do something for your health, if you keep doing cardio, I hope you understand that it's very important. It's not going to be giving the solution that you desire, right? So these two things are very important. So in short, your lymph does not have a pump like the heart. It does not have the pump. You are the pump. Every time you move, your fats move. It's going to perform the function it's supposed to perform. Every time you sit too long, they stall and does not perform the function it is supposed to perform. Correct? Now, this is the engine upgrade that we all need. Now, so yeah, so let's number one last thing before we wind up this discussion, right? We have to understand that good fat does not make you fat, right? Now, what does a good fat do? It sounds very crazy, right? But here is the science. Good fats like omega-3 and the unsaturated fatty acids act like trainers for the fat metabolism. So how do you train your body to burn fat using fat? Is when you take the good fats. They switch on the fat burning hormones. They calm down the inflammation. They help your cells use fat as a fuel. So when someone thinks or thinks about cutting out all the fats, thinking they will lose weight, their body actually forgets how to burn it. It is like you are trying to start a fire after removing all the wood, but you have taken away the very thing that keeps the flame alive. This is how you can use fat to make it work for your goals, for your body's inflammation, for your body's weight loss, and everything that you desire. So the last thing is to understand that let's not fear fat. Let's befriend it because we have to understand it's about your hormones, your energy, your brain. It is not just about your weight. All of them will thank you. Your body is not fighting fat. It is waiting for you to understand it. So hope this was useful. How to make it work as a part of a normal lifestyle? I highly, highly, highly recommend you get back to the person who invited you or your coach. Ask them about the salad challenge that is running right now because that's a beautiful way, interesting way, and a most exciting way of integrating the good fats in the right way into your diet and make it work for you in a very interesting fashion, not just for you, for your family, for your kids. That's my recommendation and hope this was useful. Thank you so much for this opportunity and back to the host.